अस्सलाम वालेकुम, वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। आज हम पढ़ेंगे द थ्री स्ट्रेंजर का चैप्टर नंबर 3। द मोस्ट साइलेंट ऑफ द शेफर्ड डोमेस्टिक इरेक्शन was an empty stay at the forward corner of his hedgeless garden, for in these latitudes the principle of masking the familiar feature of your establishment by a conventional frontage was unknown. The traveller's eye was attracted to this small building by the pallid shine of the wet slates that covered it. He turned aside and finding it empty, stood under the pent roof for shelter. While he stood, the boom of the serpent within the adjacent house and the lesser strain of the fiddler reached the spot as an accompaniment to the surging hiss of the flying rain on the sword, its louder beating on cabbage leaf of the garden on the 8 or 10 beeves just discernible by the path, and its dripping from the eaves into a row of bucket and pans that had been placed under the wall of cottage far at higher, and a casual rainfall was utilized by turning out as catchers every utensil that the house contained. Some queer stories might be told to the contrivance for economy in suds and dishwaters that was absolutely necessitated in acceptance of what the skies bestowed was sufficient for an abundant store. At last the notes of the serpent ceased and the house was silent. This cessation of activity aroused the solitary pedestrian from the reverie into which he had lapsed, and emerging from the shed with an apparently new intention, he walked up the path to drink capacious draught from one of them. Having quenched his thirst, he rose and lifted his hand to knock, but evident that he must be mentally looking through the door, as if he wished to measure thereby all the indecision. He turned and surveyed the scene around. Not a soul was anywhere visible. The garden path stretched top rail of the garden gate were varnished with the small dull liquid glaze, while far away in the valley a faint whiteness of more than usual accent showed that the river were high in the mid. Beyond all this winked a few bladed lamplight through the beaten rock, light that denoted the situation of country town from which he had appeared to come. The absence of all notes of life in that direction seemed to clinch his intentions. Hedge carpenter was suggesting a song to the company, which nobody just then was inclined to the undertake. So upward and out of night our pedestrian appeared upon the door. Mad, the shepherd aroused, snuffed two of the not unprepossessing as to feature. His hat, which for a moment he did not remove, hung low over his eyes. In the room he seemed pleased with his survey, and baring his shaggy head, said in a rich deep voice, "The rain is you have been lucky in choosing your time, for we are having a bit of flying for a glad cause. Though to be sure best to get your family over and done with as soon as you can, so as to be all the earlier out of fag oat." वीडियो अच्छी लगे तो लाइक कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए।